afternoon, depending on wherever you at. The time is recording. This is episode 158 of the Restricted Zone podcast, man. We are back with another basketball episode. Before we dive in, introduce yourself to the people, Khairi.
Yo, what's going on, viewers? Shouts out to y'all, man. Got us up to 204 subscribers right now since I checked this morning. Shout out to y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Keep showing the love. We're gonna keep pushing the product, man. Colin, what's good, bro? Talk to me.
What's good, man? How you feeling, man? I'm feeling good. What's the
I'm
word?
feeling good. I'm not as good as the Atlanta Hawks, but I'm feeling good, bro.
That is outrageous, though, the Hawks. That was rigged. I
Oh,
think it was rigged. No way. And then at one
that,
time they did it.
that was
It's
one of
the
the weirdest
draft,
lotteries I've seen, bro.
but it's rigged, but then it's not because it's like, okay, it really like teams if they I saw a format somebody said if you do the first pick only who got the worst like the worst record and stuff like that, and I think they got other people bringing up suggestions and stuff like that, but I'm saying to people I don't think that format would be good, just specifically like, okay, the first pick, that's the worst record, period, right? They get the first pick. Then the
Right.
second, then the second to five is like, okay, you kind of base that off of like, the records pretty much. And then from 8 to 14. But I feel
Uh,
like teams can't this method, even though some may say rigged, I think it's kind of rigged to a certain extent. It always keeps you unexpected because we all thought the Pistons would have got the number one pick. Then it
yeah,
would
but
end with the Hawks.
honestly, we're kind of fools for thinking that though, because it hasn't worked that way for the past few years. The team with
That's
the
true
like obviously
too.
number one pick hasn't got number one pick.
Right.
So, but
So
and I really like this method because it de-incentivizes tanking.
sure
Like, and if
does.
you're the Detroit Pistons and you want to go out there and win 18 or 19 or however many games they won, then hey, you're not going to be guaranteed the number one or even a top three pick for that matter. And we
They
see
fell
that
at
with
number
them.
five.
Fell to number five. And the Spurs last year, if I remember correctly, they were projected to get, I believe, a pick around 4 or 5, and they ended up with the number one pick.
They were supposed to get the first pick in the draft,
Yeah, yep.
and they
And
landed the first one.
The Pistons were supposed to be around that number one pick area too, and I don't even remember where they dropped to. They
The
dropped to number
Pistons
four. I
got
think
lucky.
they got All Star.
I mean, they was able to get Kate Cunningham. So that's shit. You ask
Yeah,
me, they got lucky somewhere. I think he got all-star potential. I'm still high on Kate Cunningham. I just feel like
oh,
he got to get
definitely.
the coaching just got to change, in my opinion. But outside that, shit, man, let's get to the Hawks. Let's start with them. As you guys know, the lottery was done yesterday at the time's recording. Today's Monday at the time's recording. Yesterday was the NBA draft lottery. It was crazy, exciting. I was excited because this is one of those weak drafts. Like you said, Kyrie, you stated it was so hard to make a mock draft for this because this is
Mhm.
really a weak draft. There's no consensus from 1 to 5, even 1 to 14. You go on anyone's mock draft on the internet. The first pick is like 7 different people. And I love it. It really makes you really sit down and really think. You kind of like a GM. Like you really sit and thinking like, okay, how does this guy help our organization? And with that being said, I'm gonna swing it with you first. I mean, the Hawks, the first pick, you're the general manager. You're sitting in that office. You're looking at your notes, your scouting reports. You did all your research. Who do you feel the most comfortable with the number one pick in the draft?
Um, my number one pick hasn't really changed, bro. To be honest with you, I think the Hawks are
Really?
going to get Alex Sarr here. And I look at
Mm,
it like this. I mean, you got a Clint Capella that's getting older, and I think he's got 1 year left on his contract.
that's true.
You got the emergence of a young Jalen Johnson who showed to be a stud, very athletic, can do a lot of different things on the floor without the ball in his hands, especially. And I think drafting a guy like Sarr, who's another lob threat target, he could be a pretty good rim protector. I've stated it multiple times. He's a very good all around big, and he's in the form of a guy like Evan Mobley, as far as mobility, switchability on the defensive end, and being a target on the offensive end, but not really being so much as a guy that's going to go out and get his own bucket yet. We've seen it with Mobley. Even like, he's put on the spotlight now throughout the playoffs. There's been times where he's not really a go-to guy to score, and he's kind of got to get it set up for him. He struggles to go one-on-one. I think Sarr's going to have those same difficulties coming into the league, but it depends on honestly what the guard situation for Atlanta is looking like. Whether they decide to keep Trey. I saw a report saying that he's going to have a talk with the front office regarding his future sometime this week, and of course, and Dejounte Murray also his backcourt mate. I think it'd be in Sar's best interest they have both. Um, just because I think it's too early to give up on the DeJounte trade experiment, but I think you need a guy like Trey Young, who we know is a gifted scorer, but can get guys involved and is very savvy in that pick and roll. And you've seen guys like Okongwu eat, Clint Capella eat, Jalen Johnson, and Alex Sarr. Right, he's going to fit right in with that as well. So I think you got to go with Alex Sarr here definitely. You're on mute, bro.
Excuse that little mishap. Listen, Alex Starr, I don't disagree with you. I was debating between Zachary and then Alex. I was kind of debating, but I feel like the wings, they got wings. They got DeAndre Hunter, Adrian Griffin. Yeah, they got wings. Yeah, so they don't need any. So Alex Starr, unanimous in my opinion. I think the Hawks really shouldn't have a hard time with this. But man, this gets trickier and trickier by the selection. You got the Wizards. And boy, I want them. I'm gonna let you start because I want to see who you're picking because who I want them to take is just too high. It's just too high.
Me personally, I was tricked out of this spot too. If I can show you my notes right now, I got it scribbled out. Like
too high. It's too high.
I honestly see the Wizards overthinking it here and not going with the pick I got them going with, and Nikola Topic. Because they need a guard. They need a lead guard, and they need somebody that
a guard
and can help grow with that young talent and Abby and Bilal, Jordan Poole, of course, when we get it together. Like they need a guard, but I can see them overthinking and adding Rishashir to that kind of and making it a log jam of the guards over there.
They got so many though.
I know, but I can see them doing it. I forgot to mention Corey Kispert as well. I can see them. I can honestly see them overthinking it and doing something different here. But I personally have them go with Topic just because I think it makes the most sense for them and it fills in one of their biggest gaps, which is a lead guard. Tyus Jones he was a solid starting guard, but if you really want to get serious about winning down the line, he's not really gonna cut it. And I can definitely see him being moved somewhere else where that suits him better.
He's a great backup.
He's a great backup, but on a bad team, he looks like a solid starter. So
I would keep him. I would keep him because it all depends on who they take in number 2, right? So I want to slot Rob Dillon in there, but that's so high, and that's so risky. That's so risky because it's like because for all the limitations, I think Rob is one of the most offensively. I ain't see someone play like Rob in a minute as a prospect coming into the league. So it's like you're really banking on can he turn into that point guard? But I'm not gonna put Rob there. I'm gonna actually put. They need a guard. But Nicole Topic to the Wizards just don't seem right to me. He's like
what about
right.
What about the fit? Is it his game or is it their personnel?
I feel like his game is more suited down the line. Like I tell you, I'm gonna go with Zach. I'm gonna go with Zach here because I think his talent is too hard to ignore, and I'm willing to bet they trade one of their forwards because they got a lot. And I don't think I don't think all of them were like on long-term deals. Some of them were like on maybe 1-2 year deals, maybe. So
probably on their rookie deals, yeah.
They could work something out to allow him to get those minutes and spots. So I'm gonna go with Zach. I'm gonna go with Zach at number 2.
Okay.
But my heart really want to. My heart really want to throw Rob in there so bad.
I don't blame you for that pick because the Wizards seem like a team, and they seem like they're in a position to me to overthink this, and not go with the obvious pick to say with Topic. Or to me, it's to us we're saying it's the obvious pick in a way, but I think they could definitely throw some guys off. And Richard Sherrick, I definitely see if it's not Topic, it should be him.
You would make room for someone like that, though.
Yeah, I think Anthony would definitely be gone at that point because their games kind of like overlap each other.
But who got more potential?
First of all, who expected the Rockets getting a pick this high?
Now I know who fits them perfectly, and you gonna be like, "What?"
Wait, hold on. First, before you give your pick though, how likely do you think it is they trade this for a more solidified piece?
Udoka, the type of guy, in my opinion, I'm not sure because when it was clear that James Harden kind of had some intention to come to the Rockets, Udoka never even entertained it.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, he's not looking for no. He got Fred VanVleet, and
Mm-hmm.
how long he stays here is I don't know. Maybe they may trade him some point off season before halftime. I mean, at the deadline next year. But he's the guard. Can I go and talk about my pick or do?
Go ahead. Yeah.
At number 3, I thought about this too, and just like I said about Rob, it was too high for him to go here. I think it's super high for this prospect as well, but I'm gonna go with Reed Shepard.
I don't blame you for that neither.
I think Reed. I
I
told
agree.
you it's 3 teams that I truly believe can maximize Reed Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockets. I didn't mention them before, but I'm gonna throw them in there after doing my due research and really thinking over the roster construction. Rockets, OKC, and Spurs.
Mm.
If he lands in any one of those franchises, he's gonna have a great career. I genuinely believe that, barring an injury.
Reed has that glue guy factor and that gap filling type of play style that'll work perfectly with the Rockets because he doesn't really need the ball in his hand. And he'd be a good off ball shooter to kind of calm things down for them. He works well in the half court. I could see him working well with Fran VanVleet in a second year, hopefully improved Amen Thompson. I can see him working well with the backdoor cuts and being ready for the passes from Alperen Sengun. I mean, it just works perfect. I definitely agree with that pick with you.
And I just think they don't need Aaron Holiday. I think Reed Shepard does everything better than Aaron Holiday, in my
Oh, for
opinion.
sure. He's a bigger body too, and not to mention that 40-inch the 42-inch vert. Sorry, that he put up at the
Yeah,
combine.
yeah.
What I wanted to say to you about that was, I think because you were telling me before, I didn't, not to throw it out there, but you were telling me before the pod that you think that vert could be a little bit misleading,
I think it
but
could.
I think it shows the athleticism and the agility that Reed has, which will allow him to play bigger as a kind of tweener guard. Like some people don't really know if he's like a 1 or a 2, really.
Right.
But that don't really matter to me because he'd be able to guard both, and maybe some smaller threes down the line. Just given how active he is, how athletic he is, and how he's able to play the passing lanes and play just all around, be able to play bigger than what he is at about around 6'3", 6'4". So with the Rockets, bro, I honestly think that's a flawless pick. Would it be is it pretty high? Yeah. But for a team like the Rockets that don't really need a pick this high per se, like
They
record
really
wise
don't.
and production wise,
Reed is
they don't need
perfect
to pick. Reed is the perfect pick.
because his highest ceiling. I mean, for a third pick, you may say, well, what's his ceiling as a third pick? I really don't know. That's the
Mm,
questionable part, in my opinion. Does he have talent, potential, and all? Oh, I think it's up there. I think it's just as
mhm.
up there, but it's so crucial to where he lands and who's the coach and the offensive schemes. And I just think having Fred VanVleet take him under his wing too as a mentor is absolutely perfect for someone like Reed Shepard. The games are
Sure.
close to similar. I always said Derek White, Fred VanVleet, my comp for Reed Shepard. So I just think it's a match made in heaven. Reed the Houston.
I like that. Actually have I know it doesn't really he fits their timeline, but like we were saying with Reed is a more solidified and in my eyes a safer pick. But I
Right.
got him going with Richard here. And
Okay.
it's because I think Houston needs a very good spot up shooter. And I think Richard Sherry could provide that. I think that's one of his most translatable skills. And I think since he's so positionless, he'd be able to play in multiple lineups with those guys and not really overlap or not really getting away of anybody. I could see him on the floor with a lineup like Dylan Brooks, Amen or Fred, Jalen and Sengun. He's playing a 4 or something like a small ball 4 or something like that. Or he could be out there with like Atari Eason, him and Atari Eason and maybe a Sengun or something like that. And he could play the 3 ball and then spot up and play the wing more. But I think since he's such a young guy, I think he'll fit in seamlessly and still fit the timeline of guys like Jalen Green, Amen, and Şengün, and can continue to grow with those guys, and he's got like certain points to it. He's got certain parts of his game, like I mentioned, with the outside shooting, the relocation skills, the switchability on defense. He's about 6'9". He's pretty athletic. He's got a nice frame. He could fit in multiple alignments with that team and down the line fit in and work to the capabilities, to work to the strengths of those other guys around him. Like I mentioned, Şengün, Thompson. He could work and help maximize those guys as a very good glue piece. So I got them going with Richards here, just because I think he's super versatile, and I think he's too much of a talent. It's at such a young age to pass up on here at number 3.
Don't. That's fair point. That's a great option. I would still classify as option 1, Reed. And if Sack really does fall down to number 3, because I think he'll be selected 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if he does fall to 3, hey, Houston, grab him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Great choice. We're gonna stay in Texas, man. We ain't going too far. We're going from Houston to San Antonio. Man,
Mm-hmm.
they got 2 picks. So this is what I'm gonna do. Nikola Tobic. That's the guard. That's who they
Mm-hmm.
take number 4. He's a Spurs Popovich. He fits their system. And I think him and Wemby would be great in a pick and roll. He's been hurt, so it's not a lot of. There's film on him, but it's not too much of this particular season because he was hurt the majority of the season. But I still
Yeah,
think
he's been back lately and playing pretty solid.
and I was just thank you for leading to that. He has been playing well. 6'6" guard. You can't teach size, right? You can't teach instinct. You can't teach passing. Got to work on the shooting though. But with the Spurs development, I'm so not worried about that. Like they got the best development outside of OKC, in my opinion. So
So
yeah, I like this. Nick to the Spurs. Nikola Topic to the Spurs. I'm
I'm
all
not
for it.
mad. I'm not mad at that whatsoever. His playmaking ability, his ability at 6'6", like you said, to be able to see over the defense. And what I love about him is his driving ability. He's not a super bursty athlete or anything like that, but his ability to get downhill, going right or left, and just get right to the bucket. Like I mentioned it over and over again. He looks just like Goran Dragic when he's able to get to that little crossover, get downhill off the elbow. Um, I definitely see it working perfectly well with the Spurs and their young guys too. Like I mentioned before, he's got a very mature game to him. And I would love for him to fall there too if I didn't have the Wizards picking him. But unfortunately, I do. I think that's the perfect fit for him. I honestly don't want him going to anywhere near Washington. Keep him away from the DMV area. I'd love for him to go to the Spurs. But this is how I have it going in my mock. I got him falling there already. So for the Spurs, I got another overseas, not overseas guy, but another European guy, Matas Buzelis. I know it could be a little high for him, but in my eyes, he's a bona fide Spurs guy. And I got them getting their guard later. If any, I know you're probably worried about that, or the viewers are worried about that. I got them getting their guard later, but I think they need a guy that can be a pretty good scorer, outside scorer, because they don't really have a wing scorer that's very consistent yet. Keldon Johnson could be inconsistent as a shooter. Devin Vassell is inconsistent when it comes to availability, and he's not featured all the time in their offense, in my opinion, like he should be. But a guy like Matas, who disregarding his 3-point percentage in G League, and I think he could be a very good spot 3-point shooter. Since he's already had the year pre NBA shooting from the 3-point line, he's used to that range. He moves off the ball well, and at 6'9", 6'10", I think he just got the good size to be able to hit guys with counters off of the dribble and stuff like that, and get to the rim
Tell me
using
that
shot.
start. Tell me that starting lineup with
Oh,
Matas. If you was to start Matas, tell me that starting lineup.
if Matas was a start, say Keldon Johnson's going this offseason, it would be possibly the guard I have them getting at 8. It would be Devin Vassell, Sohan,
Okay.
um,
So, huh?
uh, and
Okay.
Wemby.
Okay. Matas and Wemby. That's interesting. It's interesting.
See, and those guys I mentioned, like they look like what they all have a they all can handle the ball. for the most part, outside of Sohan, really, they all can shoot from the outside.
Right.
They're all rangy on the defensive end. They're all switchable to the defensive end. Um, I think Matas fits their DNA of what they got going on and what they're building as a group around Wemby. And again, I think they need a more experienced guard. So that's why I said possibly starting a guy, have them getting at 8. But as far as attacking that outside shooter that they need, and that kind of glue piece on the wing for when things are going wrong and their guy can't really create a bucket 1-on-1. He's a good bailout option. I think Matas is very good here for the Spurs at number 4.
Spurs are number 4. Matas, okay. Your first pick is Star. Second pick is Topish. Third pick is Zach. Fourth pick is okay. All right, Kyrie, you got interest in the list. All right, this is hard.
It's interesting as well. I like the Zach going to Zach going to the Wizards. Then you had Reed going to the Rockets, which is probably my favorite pick from you by far. I definitely had Reed as a sleeper pick going there. But the Topish to the Spurs, bro, I need that to happen. Like in a perfect world, I
If
need that
that
to happen.
doesn't happen, I think I'm gonna have like some OCD to like kind of start developing. Like I need that. Like it's because it's such like rarely do you see a prospect team and say this is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those. Like this is perfect.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Let's go on to the East, man. We done spent enough time in Texas. Enjoy the ribs. We love it. Let's fly over the Pistons. Let's fly to Detroit. I said let's fly to the Pistons. It's crazy. Let's fly to Detroit, man. Listen, fifth pick. If there's any team that got screwed over, Pistons fans, I can't relate. But I sympathize with you guys, man. You guys should have been number 1, but you guys are number 5, and I got Dalton Connect here. I think Dalton Connect here. They need shooting.
Okay.
And Dalton Connect is 6'6". You can slide him at the 3. You put a Min Thompson at the 4. And then put 5 at Doran. Cade at the 1. Jaden Ivey at the 2. Dalton Connect can come in and contribute.
Yeah.
23 years old, got the experience. His defense has got something a lot to be desired, but it's not as horrible as some other prospects, which we'll talk about later. But if we're talking about shot making, efficiency, 3-level scoring, big guard, listen to me. Dalton Connect gives you everything. And then he's 23 years old. So it's not that steep learning curve that you got with a Min Thompson, you got with Jaden Ivey, and you got with Jalen Duran when they was coming in. They was all 19 fresh out of probably a year out of high school. Literally not that far from their high school graduation. So I think you bring in a guy like that with experience and age, and he feels all the defense, you could work on that. That's something that's absolutely workable. And the scoring, you don't even got to question it. I think Cade needs someone that can really shoot the heck out of the ball. Dalton Connect fits that. Are Cade and him the same age? Cade is 23, right? Or he's not even 23?
They're actually 23.
Listen, give me that. Yeah, give me that age, maturity, scoring, the defense between those two. Cade is 6'6", Dalton Connect 6'6". You're stable at the backcourt position right there. Or maybe if you want to put Jaden Ivey at the 2, put Dalton Connect at the 3. That's fine too. I like Dalton Connect at 5.
Okay. I personally think that's a little high for Connect. And
really? Okay.
Although I think that addresses some of the problems for the Pistons as far as like you were saying shooting. I think there's another guy out there that could connect, no pun intended, but that could connect the young talent the Pistons
you know what it is, man.
Yeah, but the young guys in the Pistons, we threw the names out there: Ivy, Duren, Cunningham, Asar Thompson. These are a lot of guys with a lot of different skill sets that's shown not to really mesh well. And I'm gonna throw a guy in there that's shown he can be thrown to a team with a bunch of older guys and a bunch of guys that have distinct play styles and fit in perfectly. And that's Stephon Castle out of UConn, the freshman NCAA champion.
Wait? You like Stephon, but you don't like Net?
I'm gonna explain it. It's for Detroit. I think for Detroit, they need a guy like Castle who can be an off ball distributor, a secondary playmaker outside of K because they don't really have one. Asar hasn't really got that in the half court. He's not really that disciplined yet in the half court. In transition, he's good with that. But I think they need a guy like, and this is the comparison I've seen for Stephon Castle. And in a lot of ways, he's a lot like Josh Hart, where he can make stuff happen in transition. He's a solid rebounder from the way he can defend multiple positions on the perimeter. He's switchable. He knows he's really knowledgeable and knows where to be in rotations and in the gap to the defense when playing zone and stuff like that, or playing help or playing weak side. He knows where to be, and he's a very attentive defender and a point of attack defender. And I'll say all that to say that Swiss Army knife style, I think, could bring together the scoring capabilities of Cade and Jaden Ivey, and take away some of that playmaking duty off of Cade. That outside jumper is not really there yet, but as far from a presenting standpoint, but I think he could be. I like the form. He doesn't really have anything mechanically wrong to me. I think he could be a very good outside shooter. For years to come. Just because I've seen him get hot. I've seen him get hot in the NCAA tournament, and I'm just sold in his form and his upside as a shooter. But I think he could. I honestly think this is the pick for the Pistons here, just because of his mature play style and his defensive capabilities and his playmaking capabilities take a lot off of the other guys, especially off of Cade when it comes to a scoring standpoint. Because Cade, I feel like oftentimes finds himself stuck in between being a go-to scorer, being a dominant scorer, but getting his guys involved as well, and it leads to some crazy turnovers and him overpassing the ball at certain times. So I think you get a guy in there that in half court sets is a very good distributor and a very good connective piece, can make some stuff happen. Not really for himself as far as to get a bucket, but can make stuff happen for other people. I think Cavs is the perfect pick here.
I hear your points. I don't disagree with him. Don Connect isn't a passer or a playmaker. I wouldn't say that, but could he work on that? I think Connect and Castle's a great option. I think he could connect, but I feel like Dalton Connect I feel like he matches with the Pistons. But that's fair though. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what they do on draft night. A lot of teams got some tough decisions outside, even the first pick. Man, let's get over to the next pick, man. We're going from Detroit. We're going over to Charlotte. Charlotte Hornets, man, with the 6th pick in the draft. A lot of mock drafts before the lottery was finally put out, they had Charlotte at 4 or 6. So I'm a little conflicted with this one too. Because I'm battling between two guards right now. And I'm trying to think to myself, how would this work? And they just got a new coach, didn't they? The Hornets just signed a new coach. They just hired a new coach.
Yep.
I'm so conflicted. If you had to choose between Rob or Stephon Castle for the Hornets, who you think? Because I'm leaning towards Stephon Castle at number 6.
For the Hornets, I'd agree. I have to lead towards Castle too.
Because this is my thing.
The Hornets got a lot of guards, low key. And they don't have no defender. They don't have no on-ball defender.
They don't got none. So Rob, and I don't want Rob in his hometown. I think Rob should be kind of separated. Not to say nothing wrong with Charlotte, nothing like that. I just feel like when you at home, you can get more distracted, et cetera, et cetera. I prefer Rob. If he does, hey, hurrah. But me personally, I'd rather him not go to Hornets. I think Stephon Castle, he's not 6'5" or 6'6" like everyone thought. He's actually 6'2", which I'm so confused.
That came out to be false, bro.
Oh, I was going to say, I was so confused because I'm like, if Rob and Reed are 6'1" and he's 6'2", something's wrong.
Yeah, no, I knew something was up, and they came out and said he got mixed up with another player. And the NBA went as far as taking down all their measurements and stuff off of their site. They stuff not even up on their site right now.
As they should, because man,
it pains me to say this, but it reminds me of the 2021 year when they mistaken Sharif Cooper for 6'4", bro. They remember that report came out saying he was 6'4".
I said Sharif 6'4".
Yeah.
Oh, he top 10. He top 10. He top 10. Give him that top 10. And you know what killed me with Sharif, because he's still one of my favorite. Like, I still say to this day, I wish Coach Cal would have recruited this. He did, but Bruce Pearl eventually won out of him. He left literally the year they just passed off the NIL.
Yeah.
And what that would have did for his development had he stayed another year at Auburn. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, and now
Oh
he's
man,
in because he's been stuck in the G League and couldn't like really show what he could do in the NBA. So
the Hawks didn't even need Sharif, which was I don't know why they drafted him. It was just crazy,
yeah,
but he got drafted. Shout out to Sharif. We're big Sharif Cooper fans. We pay attention to high school hoops too. There'll be episodes on high school hoops, and so be on the lookout for that. Stay tuned for that. All right, man. So the sixth pick. Who do you have for the Hornets? I got Stephon Castle. Who do you got?
I got your boy Reed Shepard going here. We talked about it
Okay.
last episode as a possibility. Reed to the Hornets, and it really stuck
Okay.
with me.
Okay.
And I don't have him going here just because I like this so much. This is honestly how I'd have my draft falling down. But when it got to here and I realized I had Reed left, I was like, he's got to go here because
LaMelo and Reed is nice.
again,
I love that.
they need a point of attack defender and a guy that can switch out that's switchable on the wings and can navigate pick and rolls. And a guy like I mentioned earlier, a guy with like him with a 42-inch vertical, good lane drill time, good agility time. I mean, he could play a lot bigger than he actually is at 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'4" in shoes. He got the outside shooting ability we mentioned before, shooting over 40% from the field. Is great in transition. Is just as good in half court situations as well as a connector guy and as a glue guy. Um, I think he'd be perfect here for the Hornets. And let down a lot, I think he'd be the perfect backcourt mate for LaMelo Ball because he needs a guy like this that he's just reliable, steady, and is efficient, and can kind of make up for his deficiency on the defensive end. You're on mute, bro.
Got you. Man, I keep again. I'm on mute just to make sure everyone's able to hear. Reed has definitely got experience playing with dynamic guards like a la Reed Shepard. So him and LaMelo, I think, would be a seamless transition. If anything, LaMelo is an upgrade to Rob Dillingham, of course, especially in size and defense. So it's like, yeah, I think Reed. Oh man, the Hornets. See, my thing is the Hornets development is where I'm like so iffy on it.
Exactly.
That's why because the Hornets is low key one of the best options for Reed too. If you really think about it, it's the development, man. The development scares me.
Especially when it comes to thinking of like rotation and playing time. I think Reed could honestly be a starter from day one.
I think Reed has a fighting chance to make any starting line just because he just fits. You could put him in there and he'll fit like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So guys like that, you don't see guys like that too many times, to be honest with you. So man, Reed to the Hornets. I like that, man. I like that. That development scares me though. When's the last time the Hornets had a successful draft pick outside of Kemba Walker?
I
PJ
mean,
Washington.
LaMelo.
PJ Washington been cooking.
Yeah, but he ain't really pop off like that in Charlotte.
Yeah, all right, okay, that's fair. So it's just Kemba and Melo, huh?
LaMelo, yeah.
Damn.
Somebody else
I feel like we're missing somebody, but we'll get to that at some point. But we're missing somebody though.
I don't
Let's
think
go to.
so.
You don't think so, man? I'm telling you, as soon as we're done recording, it's gonna pop to my head. Portland, we're sliding all the way over to Oregon, man. And I like Donovan Clingan here.
Oh, I like that too.
Because I don't like DeAndre Ayton just doesn't fascinate me no more. Like he just doesn't. Maybe you slide DeAndre Ayton to the 4, maybe. No, Grant's still there. Grant, they gotta get rid of Grant at that point. Grant has no business being on the Portland Trailblazers. Get that man out of there. I want him to leave so badly. I like Donovan Clingan here. I like they could get a massive upgrade from both Robert Williams and DeAndre Ayton, right? Not saying Donovan is already better than those two, but if you was to ask me potential wise, I mean, like we talked about DeAndre Ayton's potential at this point. I have no hope for him. Like as long as he
and
can,
I think, not to cut you off, but I think what Klingon to have over 8-2 with them is a definitive role.
yes, defense, yes,
Yep,
athletic.
yep, ain't
He
protected.
will defend in passion, effort. He gives you all of that. He'll fight for rebounds. We
Yep.
watched DeAndre Ayton, one of the most famous clips of him standing there and he let guys get the rebounds. He's just standing there. You're 7-1. What are you doing? So Yeah, not a fan of Aiden or Robert. Well, Robert Williams just hurt so
He's
much.
just always hurt. But
So
when he plays, he's effective, but he's just always hurt.
so Donovan Clingan to the Portland to me is like another. Oh yes, like between Portland and the Rockets, I chose Portland. I think they need him more. So I'm
Don't
going
forget the Grizzlies.
Grizzlies absolutely because Portland snatched him up first. Sorry, Memphis. It turned to my board, but let's swing it to you, man. Who you got at number 7?
For the Blazers, I actually got them getting Dalton Connect here. So throughout all our box, I've had him going to the Blazers at number 14, but I got him going at number 7 here just because of the way I've seen the teams fall in the actual lottery. I think I don't think Dalton to get anywhere past Utah at number 10. Just because I just think that's the way the cookie crumbles with the order. And I think the teams up around this range, you had him going to Detroit, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I see why. Because a lot of teams in this range need some shooting, and they need like a bigger shooter. And I think the Blazers need a bigger shooter. I think they need a guy at 6'6", 6'7", like we mentioned with him outside of his shooting ability. Is a pretty good athlete and could be a solid, not a very good, but a solid defender and a good help defender and good in rotations and stuff like that, and a good and use put his athleticism to use. He's a more mature player too, which I think the Blazers need. A guy that's not going to make a lot of stupid turnovers and stuff like that, take a lot of bad shots. He's the guy that he knows what he does. He's going to play within himself. And even though I don't know what the lineup would look like with him exactly, especially when you think you got young wings like a Shade and Sharp there, um, I think this is the thing where you just throw him in there and see how it works, and you just put the best pieces around him and you try to put him in the best position possible. Mute.
Jeez. You're focusing on the guards and wings. I'm focusing more on the front court because I just despise their front court. So
Yeah,
I just
The Blazers are still a mess, to be
because I
honest.
think their back court is more solid than their front court, if you ask me. Outside of Grant, obviously, but yeah,
Yeah, but they need you can never have enough shooting. They need shooting.
never, yeah, absolutely, never can have enough shooting. That's fair. All right, we go to the second. Well, sorry, not the second. We go to the 8th pick, which is San Antonio's second pick in this draft. Oof, I struggle with this one, Kyrie. I was sitting down, writing this down, and I was really debating this for like 15 minutes. I was telling myself, Mataj should go here because they got their point guard.
Hmm.
Mataj should go here. Something telling me to go with Rob Dillingham.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got your boy Rob going here too.
Ooh, we got the first
Because I already
okay.
got my time going there. I'm going to San Antonio at 4.
Because, but I don't. The Spurs are in my mock draft. The Spurs, it's just I don't see them drafting 2 guards in my opinion. I just
No,
don't. I don't see
no.
them drafting 2 guards. It's just not gonna happen. It's gonna be one or the other. So my chances, if I'm really betting on Nikola Tovic, I'm betting on him more so than Rob. But I think Rob fits with the Spurs. I think Rob fits with the Spurs perfectly. I mean, outside of Tyus Jones, who else is there? Their guard, Blake Wesley. Uh, who
They don't
else
have
is
no other
there?
point guard. They don't have no other real point guard outside Trey Jones, really.
Devin Vassell's a guard. Malaki, he's a shooting guard. Man, yeah, Rob Dillingham should fit here. And I think him and Wemby will make an exciting duo if they get the chance to play with each other.
Yeah, that
But
I
Rob's
don't.
defense is so awful. It's just like, man, but then Wemby is the type of guy that covers your defensive, weaknesses. So it's like, you got a guy like him.
Rob defensively, his the assignment is going to be to funnel his guy towards Wemby or funnel his
Pretty
guy
much.
towards Jeremy
Pretty
Sohan
much.
or Jack Collin.
Pretty
Like that's
much.
going to be
Pretty
his
much.
job. He's going to have to funnel his guys
Yeah,
towards their
pretty
defenders.
much.
But
I will
offensively,
give I will give him
I,
some slack. He fights, he puts a lot of effort. He just can't guard it. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
I mean, when you're a $160, there's only so much fight you can do. So he's gonna have to get his frame up. But I don't even care about him defensively when it comes to the Spurs. I have him going here because offensively they need a guard that can create, in my opinion.
They don't have
The
no
Spurs,
guard
the
outside of
Spurs
Haskell.
had so many possessions last year where either they over create, or they overpassed or over dribbled, and just took some horrible shots. I mean, if you're gonna take a horrible shot, I mean, you might as well have a guy like Rob do it and not pass it around for 20 seconds. Like you might as well just have him, because not that. And the thing is, he doesn't really take a lot of bad shots. Like Rob takes shots that are within himself and within the offense.
He takes a lot of contested shots, like unnecessary sometimes contested shots.
True, he definitely does. But he doesn't go to the rim as much, which I like. If they're contested, they're going to be a lot of jump shots. He's not going to throw. He's not throwing his small frame into the hit the rim and stuff like that, because he has to improve there. But as a guy that can get to his spots, a guy that can create off his screens, he has some passing ability that he's shown. He put up like 3 or 4 dimes a game at Kentucky. Can get up and down. He's very shifty. I like him here for San Antonio because that's never really been known to be Greg Popovich's thing. He never really had any flashy bucket first mindset guards outside of DeJounte Murray. But DeJounte Murray came in as a defensive minded guard, and my fault. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you
Oh
finish
no,
your thought.
yeah, I was saying DeJounte came in as a defensive minded guard, but they molded him to that offense. So that's why, as far as Rob goes, being such a nice offensive talent now, but such a liability defensively, I don't mind. I don't really mind that right now because I know Pop is going to, and that training staff is going to get him right.
I am. You know what's crazy? Rob is not a Spurs guard any way, shape, or form. DeJounte Murray, like you said, you nailed it on the coffin. He was a defensive guard coming in. No, DeJounte Murray was a scorer. No. DeJounte Murray didn't have that profile when he was coming in out there. His defense was there, but the offense
He couldn't shoot.
He couldn't shoot, but he could. Yeah, okay, that's
he
fair.
could score because he was at Washington. I mean, Markel Fultz put up 25 a game there, bro. Be real.
Oh, hold on. Come on now, Kyrie. I was agreeing with you. Don't make it salty now, man. Come on.
I mean, it's Washington. Any guard that goes to Washington is going to score. Huh?
And you're still going. You're still, dude.
What do you mean?
Listen. Don't do Markel like that. Listen, don't do Markel like that. He was done injustice.
I'm just saying, DeJounte looked like an RA scorer because he was at Washington. But
he's
like a sub 30% 3-point shooter, which is why he got the 27.
You have to have some alumni from Washington hit your DMs up like, hey, what's going on?
The guards can score. They guards can score. That's what I'm giving it to them. They guards can score. Isaiah Thomas. They got guards. Nate Robinson. They guards can score.
And to think Jamal Crawford didn't go there. And I always thought he went to Washington. He went to Michigan, which is crazy. Yeah, and I always thought he went to Washington, which is crazy. Listen, at number 9, man, we're going from San Antonio. We're going to the Grizzlies, man. We're going to Memphis. But I do want to touch on it before I get to that about the Spurs and Rob. Rob and Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich would never look at someone like Rob, in all honesty. But this is why I'm saying Rob, in my opinion, Rob could really get drafted by the Spurs because you got to think how long Greg Popovich is honestly going to coach.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a little exception, but.
Yeah. So it's like, if you draft Rob, it's not really in the mindset of Greg Popovich is going to coach this guy's career because he's really not. He don't got, God bless him, the age and health, and God bless him, he's still coaching. That's amazing. But he won't be coaching into Rob's 5th year in the NBA or his 6th year in the NBA. So, that could be some potential leeway for the Spurs fans because I'm going on Twitter and they desperately want Rob Dillingham. Like, they believe the Spurs are going to pick. And I don't know, man. I don't know. The Spurs, you can't really get a grasp on what they got going on. But to bring it to the 9th pick of the draft, the Memphis Grizzlies on the clock. I was struggling with this one too, but I think you could put Kyle Filipowski from Duke. I think he could definitely slide up there because Donovan Clingan, the Grizzlies did need a center, but I think Kyle Filipowski could step in and handle that. You know, I just think he's definitely what is Kyle Filipowski is 6'11", the measurement said, the
About
combine
6'10",
measurements.
6'10", yeah.
6'10", 6'11", so he could play the 4 or 5. He, you know, you could switch him before. I was kind of debating having Jared McCain as the backup guard because that's what Rob Dillingham probably would have been at number 9 in the Grizzlies because they need a backup guard. But I got Rob going to the Spurs at 8, so I think Jared McCain or Kyle Filipowski. I'm going Kyle Filipowski more so because the front court. But yeah, I'm going Kyle Filipowski. But I was debating between him and his teammate Jared McCain.
I want to be upset at McCain's the Grizzlies. I actually like that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
But you know how I'm going here. I got Donovan Clingan going here. You
Yeah.
know, I voiced my opinion about that. If the Grizzlies want to maintain any type of relevancy in the West when they get all their guys back, they gotta get Clingan, bro. They got to. I mean, they don't have no other big on the court. I mean, on their roster outside of Jaren and who else?
Would you draft Zach Edey?
I wouldn't be opposed to that either, and it might shock you, but
I think Zach Edey is crazy.
Huh?
I think Zach Edey could maybe be something.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
I like Clingan here better though, because I think he's more of a live body. Right. And
you saw how Zach Edey moved them combines though, right?
Edey was moving. He was.
And you saw him shoot
it? He's been saying for a while that he can shoot. He's been saying that for a while.
Hey, listen, I'm getting more high and high on Zach Edey. I'm not gonna lie.
I am too. But I got Clingan going here for I mentioned the reasons before, but I got Clingan going here.
No, bro. I think I want to change my pick. I think I want to make a trade. I think I want to call a team, make a trade. I think I want to take Zach Edey, man.
Bro, you did that last time. You can't be doing these trades, bro.
All right, we're going to stick with Kyle Filipowski. We're going to leave it at that. Listen, we're going over to the 10th pick of the draft, man. We're going to the Utah Jazz. Listen to me, man. The Jazz, their front court is Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkanen. I believe John Collins is probably playing the 3, I think.
No, Lauri was playing the 3.
Lauri was playing. John Collins was playing the 4. So, so I was real conflicted on this. Colin Sexton, what's his contract? Is he here for another year or 2? Or are they looking to move him probably?
I'm not sure if that was Sexton, to be honest with you.
Because I was thinking of a guard here, and I'm really low on him. And then because you said that those measurements got taken down, because I was thinking of Isaiah Collier and Keontae George as the backcourt. What do you think about those two being the backcourt?
Honestly, I think they balance out well because Collier could be a little bit more of the distributor, defender, point of attack defender. Right. He measured in he's pretty stocky, like Jalen Brunson type of build, like 6'2". Right. Had like a 6'5" wingspan. He's very built very well. The Keontae, we've seen it in certain points of this season that he can really get to a bucket. He shoots well from the outside. I can definitely see that. What goes on with Jordan Clarkson, I'm not sure. And but yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that, to be honest with you. I think I'd like Collier in Utah.
Yeah, I was really I think those two, because I saw a measurement that says Isaiah Collier was 6'2". Now I don't want to believe that. If that's the case, that changes a lot. But you said they took the measurements down. But
yeah, I figured he was about 6'2" all season though.
I mean, they had him listed at 6'4". They had him in that 6'4", 6'5" range. And that looked a lot better than 6'2".
I never thought he was that big. I never thought he was that tall. Because he looked built like Aaron Bledsoe.
Because he built, but he definitely was like, I don't know. Let's hear. Okay. I think I said Collier and Keontae George, in my opinion. I think those are the new dynamic backcourt for the Jazz. What's your thoughts? Who you got going with the 10th pick?
Number 10, this is gonna be the same pick as I had last time. I actually have Ron Holland going here. I think the Jazz need a defensive minded wing. that could shut down multiple positions from the 2 to the 4, possibly some ones. When you look at a guy like Ron Holland, who's a freak athlete, his offense, he I feel like his offense was a little overblown in the G League because they needed him to be a scorer.
Okay.
But I don't think that's going to be his role starting off. I don't think he's going to be a guy they look to get buckets early on or to create for himself. Really, I definitely see him being a guy that creates and that gets his points in the transition and half court, like in off of cuts and stuff like that. But defensively, I can definitely see him being a point of attack defender, a guy that disrupts dribble handoffs, disrupts passes in the front court. In the back court, excuse me. And as a transition defender, also that's another place he really struck me as being able to get chased down blocks, just never giving up on the play. He's the guy as somebody on the fast break. You always have to check your rear view mirrors with him. And he's super young. He's still rough around the edges, defensively, discipline wise, offensively discipline wise. As far as playmaking goes, he still has some stuff you want to iron out. But I think as an athlete and as a defender, I think he's a guy you can't pass up on if you're the Jazz. Because I think you really need the defense and that grittiness on that end. Because you got the scores, but you need defenders to kind of add on the perimeter to go hand in hand with your down low defender Walker Kessler. So I think you got to go around Holland here.
Fair choice. Fair choice. Man, this is a crazy draft, man. Crazy. It's just all over the place. It's shooken up. We don't even know if the guys who we got is gonna fall. It's just a crazy draft, man. I'm super excited for this draft. Even though it's a weak draft, the unpredictability of it just makes it, fascinating. We're going to go on to the 11th pick, man. We're going to go from Utah. We're going to go all the way to Chicago. Chicago Bulls, man. They got a lot of stuff they got to think about moving forward. Lonzo Ball, is he the guard moving forward? Do you want to see Lonzo and Kobe White make something happen? What's that backcourt look like? Zach LaVine, do you trade him or see what he comes back from after that injury? DeMar DeRozan. But with this, I'm gonna say Ron Holland. I think the Bulls take Ron Holland in. I think Ron Holland's a great fit. I think Ron Holland's a great fit for the Bulls, in my opinion. Listen, because Patrick Williams. At this point, what's Patrick Williams at this point? What is he provided for the Bulls? 4 years into the league. He's been hurt. Yeah, Patrick Williams, listen, I think Tom Holland's potential, in my opinion, I think the shooting, because he shot so bad, kind of hurt him. Because this is a guy, beginning of the year, and maybe until January, they had him as number one. So they was having him in their top 3. So if the Bulls could get a guy that was ranked as a top 3 majority of the NBA season, and they get him at number 12? Number 11. I think the Bulls I just think he's a massive upgrade over Patrick Williams. I don't think it's a debate.
I'm not
especially
mad at that.
Defensive wise. Especially defense.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. And I could definitely see Ron going higher. He's probably one of the most widest range guys out of all the lottery guys. I think Ron could go anywhere from like maybe 4 down, honestly. I don't think he'll go anywhere past this range, maybe past Chicago, like you had him going to. I don't think he'll go anywhere past there. But I could definitely see a team like him going to like 4 or 5 with the Spurs in Detroit. So I'm really intrigued to see where he goes because personally he's one of my favorite prospects just because he's so exciting to watch. I'm just watching him go to work in transition, watching him go to work and smother guys on the defensive end. He's a guy whose play style. I made the comparison to Gerald Wallace. He's a guy you just get behind because he plays so hard. He plays with such an intensity and such a flair. Like you can't help but be a fan of him at my point. So I'm really intrigued to see where he goes. But I think Chicago will be a nice spot, honestly. But who do we got next? Oh, I gotta get mine for the Bulls, right? I'm gonna go ahead with Tajane Salon out of France here. And the reason being is because you mentioned it with Patrick Williams, bro. His contract's up this season, and I doubt he gets re-signed. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna go somewhere else. But he's been so disappointing.
The fourth pick in the draft too.
Number 4. He went over guys like Halliburton, over guys like Quickly,
That's
Pat Keith. Like
crazy.
the list goes on. I mean,
That's crazy.
you can say even like Cole Anthony at this point. Like he went over some guys, bro. And
Cole Anthony. He's a great guard too.
and the thing is, like he has such a nice skill set too. Like he could be a very good defender. He's powerfully built. He's a good athlete. He's worked on his jump shot for him, and he's really got like a nice spot up jumper.
Yeah.
They were coming like he was Kawhi 2.0. Like I'm not going to come with like
That's
you
how
see
they
it.
was.
They were coming like he was going to be Kawhi 2.0, but just when he's showing it, he shows it like in the summer leagues and stuff. But like in the NBA, it just has to transform, and that's why I think a guy like Salon, who has a lot of those qualities that I named. I mean, he's a good spot up 3-point shooter. He's about 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", long frame. Very athletic, can get off the floor well, is a good suck and jump. I think he could be that athletic raw piece to fill in and kind of let you kind of groom him over the next year. But I think he could be a very nice combo forward from a guy that can shoot, a guy that can get out in transition and finish, and a solid defender in a mold kind of like we've been talking about with Patrick Williams, what we expect the end to be. But I think Tajani has a lot of upside. He's about 18 and a half right now, so he's still very young. And I think he's got a lot of upside. I think he could be a risk here.
Okay.
Some people he's another guy that ranges wide. He could be a guy that goes anywhere in the lottery, late lottery to mid to late first round. But
Oh, that's it.
I've seen enough of his game and enough in the film that I watched of him. The way he attacks closeouts, his activity on the perimeter as a 6'9", 6'10" big, the block shots, the length, the verticality. He has a lot. He's still very raw and he's still very underdeveloped, but he has a lot of good traits I feel like can be put together and can help out a team like the Bulls. In my opinion, that needs a lot of defense. So I'm gonna go with some law here.
Don't disagree with you. I actually like that. Hey, man. I forgot about him, low key. Now I think about it. I had him. I was doing a whole 30 pick. I had him at 15. Now I think
Yeah.
about it.
What sucks with guys like Salon and Richard Sheeran and Topic is that they're not at the combine right now because I think their season's still going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
'cause
Yeah.
I think Sar was at the combine. Though. I think his season's over.
Sorry, I was at the combine.
Yeah.
Bronny James been doing well, actually. Stephon Cass like
Yeah.
number one in terms of 3-point shots. Did you see that in the combine? He's like number one in terms of 3-point shots. I think. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was 3-point star shooting drill. Yeah,
Mm.
and he shot like 72%. He was number one, 72%, 18 to 25. Then you had Tristan doing it number two, Keshawn George. Hey man,
Keshawn George got a nice. I like Keshawn George out of Miami.
Keshawn George too. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
But
he he. he
Bronny impressed me because he measured a lot shorter than what he because he's been listed at 6'4" for a while.
yeah,
And he came out at 6'1" and a quarter.
I think he's turned 6'2", 6'3".
No, they had him at like I believe it might have been 6'2", but I'm pretty sure I saw 6'1".
Oh, you saw
But
6'1". I saw 6'2".
his vertical he had like a 40-inch vert though,
Yeah,
and it's kind of in the mold of like a Reed like I was talking about that might allow him to play bigger as like a combo guard.
that's true.
But yeah, we'll have some Bronny talk later, man. I'm sure we will, especially after when we do our draft recap. But number
Oh yeah,
12 for the Thunder, bro. Yeah, OKC Thunder. Who do you got them getting here?
Matas.
Oh, you gonna have Matas going yet?
I had Matas at OKC. I think OKC and Matas is a great fit. I
Why
think
does Matas fall so low though?
he's a better scorer than Josh Giddey, in my opinion. He's not as
Wait,
good as a passer.
Tyler,
Huh?
hold on. Why does Matas fall so low to you though?
Matas fall low to me because I think the Spurs. I honestly think I don't believe they'll pick two cards, but if he doesn't fall to the Spurs, because there's three teams I think is ideal for him. You could say Spurs, you could have said Hornets, or you could have said the Rockets.
I don't like him with the Hornets, but I do like him. I had him going to the Spurs.
But
But no,
Brandon Miller and him was just like,
yeah,
how would that work out? Because they both got to have the ball in the hand.
yeah. That's why you got Reed. That's why I got my boy Reed on there, bro. Get
That's
D Mill.
that. I'm not mad. I like it. I ain't listen. I love it. I'm gonna go with Matas here because I think OKC the development with young prospects. Look at Jalen Williams. Both of Jalen Williams. He's serving up as a nice backup as a 5. And you got J Dub. He's like the number 2 option. Like he's Shea's co-star, co-superstar with a limitless talent too. And I just think OKC with a great coach and Mark, you got a great executive manager in Sam Presti. They just got a great structure. And I think a guy like Matas needs that because the G League, he's coming from and I understand the intentions with the G League and everything about it. The fact that it got closed officially, like they
Yeah,
shut it down within what
4
2, 3
years.
years, 4 years, that says a lot.
Yeah.
That says a lot. And a lot of
we
it
we
is
gotta we
structure.
gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that in its entirety soon for an
Oh yeah.
episode or something like that. Because
Yeah.
that really caught me by surprise.
Because I told you about, and I also talked about the G League prospects. They were really like if you look at Scoot Henderson, Dyson Daniels, Jonathan Kuminga, Jalen Green, who else am
Yep.
I forgetting? That was G League.
This
They were,
year, I wanted to mention this year outside of Matas and Ron Holland, the kid Dick Tate,
yeah.
nice too.
I don't know. I'm like I don't know what's his ceiling is because I don't know. I'm really not sure because he's another one. Like it all comes down like to what team that picks him up. But I
Yeah.
told you how I noticed those G League guys. They had the physicals and everything, but when it came to like the offensive schemes, reading defensive, like the little stuff, they were so raw. Jalen Green
Yeah.
was like
Jalen Green. Yep.
talented. Don't get it. I think he put it together the last 2 months of the Rockies. I think he put it together, and he was playing like the number 2 pick. But
Nigga just started getting it together too. He started to blossom like early midway towards this season, his 3rd year.
I just hope he continues that.
Yep, Dyson Daniels is still trying to figure it out with the Pelicans consistently.
The defense is there though, so I will say that for him.
But I didn't expect his offense to be this bad though.
Man, but that's what the G League like Ron Holland. I think he's gonna have those same problems. Like he don't get it twisted. The stats are but I feel like they didn't teach those guys anything like offensive schemes or nothing. So
you think that kind of hindered Matas in your eyes too?
I do. That's why I want him to go to OKC because that would like perfect.
I like
they
that.
will work on all the things that need to make because Matas got star potential. He's a guy that's always been the top 3, top 5. I don't think he'll fall number 12. I really don't. That's just my personal opinion. That I got him 12.
Yeah.
If the OKC could land him at 12, that's got to be top 3 steals of their draft night.
Oh, for sure. I don't think he'll drop that low.
I don't think he will.
Maybe the Thunder trade up for him. I could.
Well, maybe. I hope
definitely.
they do. He's worth
it.
All right, who you got for OKC?
I'm excited for this pick because we were just talking about him, and I haven't had him mocked in the lottery our last 2, but I got the Thunder going Zach Edey right here, bro.
I don't disagree with you. I like that.
They starting Edey off as a backup big would be so much relief because
holy shit.
We seen rebounding and interior presence be a problem. Not as much as it could be, but we've seen it be a problem with the Thunder, especially these last couple of games in Dallas. As soon as we get off, I'm gonna go ahead and watch that game too. I can't wait.
Definitely watching that game.
But I think having a guy like Edey who you could throw in there for Spurs to get you rebounds, to make guys think twice about going into the paint at you, because guys are going right at chest. Whether he's getting the block or not, guys are still testing Chet at the rim and still taking it right to him. And that might just be to get him in foul trouble because they know their only other big is Jalen Williams. But you'd probably be a little less hesitant to do that knowing you got 7'4" Zach Edey off the bench who was a little bit who can hold his ground more, who's shown that he can move a little bit better, especially like in drop coverages and drop zones and stuff like that. can move a little bit better and contain guards coming towards the rim, and can just straight up alter shots. I mean, he can just straight up be a presence at the rim. Not to mention his post game down at the other end. You just stick him down at the rim, and he could be an easy couple points for you. So I think the Thunder, it'd be in their best option to pick him up to be a spurt guy to play backing up Chet or even alongside Chet in lineups where you want Chet to get a little more primary scoring options and to shoot some more from the outside. I could definitely see that because on the defensive end, who you going to lay the ball up on? I mean, all that length and that height, I think going with Zach Edey right here for the Thunder, who not desperately, but in my opinion, can definitely use another big to not stay stagnant and to keep improving next season. I think it's got to be Zach Edey right here.
Okay. Zach Edey. Did not think of that. Man. Boy, man, I'm not praying for Zach Edey in OKC draft night. I'm so praying for that. I did not think of that at all. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I'm
That'd be
so
lit.
praying. I'm
I
so
don't know
praying.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know what I like better, him going there or clinging to the Grizzlies for me. I think I like clinging to the Grizzlies better.
I like Zach to OKC. That solves all their problems. And he don't got to
Mhm.
worry about in the development under OKC, Zach Edey.
And again, you don't got to play him big minutes. You don't got to play him
Man,
big.
I am so. That might be my favorite thing I'm hoping for a draft night outside of Nikola Jokic going to Spurs. Thank you,
Sure.
Khairi. We're going to 13, man. The Kobe number, the Kobe draft number 13. They gotta make that unique somehow, some kind of way, in honor of him. I don't know, but hey, number 13, man. Sacramento, and I struggle with this the most because I was trying to figure out Sacramento's timeline.
Mm-hmm.
They were a top 3 seed last year. They lost in the play-in this year.
Yeah.
What? And we're gonna lose Malik Monk.
You think he's gone?
And yeah, he's gone.
Mm.
Because he'll command money. And he's worth it. He deserved it. He's
Yeah.
played his ass off the past 2 years. Like,
Sure.
6-man candidate, both, like, you don't just do that. So he's going to get his money. If the Sacramento keep him, they keep him. But I think he's leaving. So with that, I struggle with this a lot. But I guess I'm going to draft a guard here, right? And I'm going to go with Jacoby Walter. I'm
Okay.
going with Jacoby Walter because if Malik Monk do leave, which everyone's pretty much under the assumption he's going to leave, as much as I've been studying on, his situation, I think Jacoby Walter can step in. Now, obviously, this is where I say timeline. Now, the Sacramento, do they want to keep this pick or do they trade it? If they don't trade it, Jacoby Walter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's not as dynamic as Malik Monk is, in my opinion. Malik Monk is literally like he could score in any way, like running off the hand. Like he's a 3-level scorer. Jacoby Walter could get buckets too, but he's more of a shooter rather than a
Mm-hmm.
scorer. And he struggled a lot during college, especially in conference play. Picked it up toward
Yeah.
the end, but he struggled a lot with his shooting. I just think that's just, the freshman wall. It happens. But I think under the right development, I think with the Kings too, I say they got a complete culture change. I think this is a nice place for development now. I think Jacoby Water can make his, he can make some waves with Sacramento.
I'm not mad at that at all. When I came to this pick too, I was kind of conflicted because I was thinking Jacoby. I was thinking Jared McCain. I think they keep a guard that can shoot, a guard that has some range because you look at their guards now. De'Aaron Fox can knock it down, but he's about a league average shooter. Davion Mitchell's not really a shooter, and Keon Ellis is sometimes a shooter in my opinion. Um, but at the same time, I look farther down their depth chart, and the Kings, in my opinion, are a team that needs a big too. I think that it gets mad because they have such a productive big and a guy like Sabonis.
Right, because they got how many bigs do they got? I know they got Alex Lynn.
They
got
like Alex Little, JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee. And there's somebody else too. Am I missing somebody? Was it Richard Holmes? Rashard Holmes?
I don't think Rashawn Holmes is in Dallas, remember?
Oh, he's on Dallas. Oh, okay, man.
Yeah, he's
Why am I
up
still
in
thinking of
Dallas.
the Kings? All right, that's my fault. That's a little brain freeze. Go ahead.
Because he ain't been playing there.
Yeah.
But
He ain't been playing.
Yeah, but I look at their depth chart and I just think back to times of watching them play where sometimes they miss getting key rebounds or sometimes they needed a play extended and couldn't get the rebound. And I think a guy like Yves Misi out of Baylor, whose game I mentioned it before is clear cut. I mean he's a true rim runner. And you don't expect too much out of those guys long term, but you know what he's gonna give you. You know he's gonna be good for rebounds, you know he's gonna be good for extended plays, in contested shots and altering shots at the rim. And
Okay.
I don't expect his offensive game to ever really be like anything. I see him a lot being a lot like a Clint Capella. I'll say that he reminds me a lot like Clint Capella.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you just gotta hope like Clint Capella, he improves as a free throw shooter. And at that point, you're comfortable keeping him on the floor some more,
Right.
and you bank on the development of other passes outside of De'Aaron Fox, like your Davion Mitchell and Keon Ellis, and becoming good passers again, him lob opportunity. So
Okay.
I think Misi's a project, but I think he's a guy you can have, bro, while you're still a contending team, even though he didn't make the playoffs this season, you're
Mm-hmm.
still a team that's looking to contend from what it looks like right now. I think you got to get a guy like Misi, show him the ropes, let him develop a little bit more, get some G League reps maybe, and you have him in as a brim runner and improve your defense and your rebounding.
Okay, Kyrie. That's some great, man. Hell of a draft board we got. Hell of a draft we got, man.
Yeah, I said it, bro. This might be the weakest draft we covered, but this is probably one of the more intriguing mocks we've done.
Oh, absolutely. It's
I
all
think
over the
I, I
place.
think I've had I think out of because we did 2020, 21, 22, 23. No, we didn't do a mock for 2020. We did it for 2021.
Yeah.
And this is probably yeah. I don't know about you, but I probably had to think. I probably thought the hardest on this one.
I've been second guessing like 4 picks already.
Yeah,
Rethinking.
you're making trades and whatnot, bro. Like,
Cause I keep rethinking, like, man, maybe this guy was better here. Cause this draft, I can't wait for draft night. I'm like, we don't know what's gonna happen draft night, and I'm all for the madness. I really am.
mhm,
The last pick, Portland,
that's it.
another team with 2 picks in the class. I got them selecting Cody Williams here.
Me too.
Oh, two, all right, two out
There
of
we
all
go.
right, 2 out of 2.
There we go. So I think
I
that's the
think
first thing we agreed on.
no. We had agreed on who we agreed. Oh god damn it, we agreed on somebody, bro. When I
Was it Rob
rewatched
to the
this,
Spurs?
yes, that's what I was
Okay,
talking about.
yeah.
Rob to
All
the
right,
Spurs,
yeah,
Rob to
yeah,
the
yeah.
Spurs.
All right, that was the second. All right, this is the second one we agreed
And
on.
it's crazy you said it because the second just crossed my head. I was like, wait, Rob, yeah, we picked on Rob. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rob Dillon. Yeah. Cody Williams though, I think can he fight to start? Can he fight for minutes on that Portland? Because they got a lot of wings if I think about it too. Maybe
yeah.
Shaden Sharp, Matisse Thybulle. Who else am I
Mm-hmm.
forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody, man. Portland's not really a team I watch at all, so I gotta look up Portland. Let me see.
The
Cause it,
Tumani Kamara, the rookie Tumani Kamara, who's
ah,
pretty solid. Then
Port, Port,
when you look at their forwards, they got Jabari Walker,
but you're
Duwop
going
Bree.
best talent available at this moment. And if Cody
Yeah.
Williams is at 14,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at those guys. I'm saying you guys ain't Cody Williams. And not
Yeah.
only that, his brother is like OKC might have just 2 superstars, low key.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I think you take Cody Williams regardless of fit. That's talent right there. And the kid, he's a taller version of J Dub. So why not? Why not get him? I'm
And
all
I'm
for it.
hoping this wasn't true neither when it came to the draft combined measurements, but they had Cody sizing in at 6'6", around 6'6". I was
Ooh,
like, dude.
six
And
six. Well, sheesh.
he
I'm
looks a
with.
lot. I can say he looks a lot taller than that when he's on the court. Though he does look like legit 6'8".
He looked
And
taller than that, right? So I'm not just crazy. All right, he looked
yeah,
taller than
no,
that.
and and there's some stuff there that's to work. Like he's athletic. He's got the length. He has a great wingspan. Um, and he plays within himself, but at the same time, we don't really know what exactly he is or where he will be. Coming to the league. That's why I think with a guy like Cody Williams, maybe more so than anybody else, where he lands matters the most. So Yeah, I got him falling to the Blazers here. I need Cody Williams to show me more. Um, because it's not like J Dub, like his brother, where coming out of college, when coming out of Santa Clara, when we really got put onto him during draft time, we knew what he was. We knew he could score the ball. We knew he had great length on the defensive end, and we knew he was a great facilitator.
No one expected this though. Maybe
Nobody
Sam Presti
expected it.
did. Sam Presti did. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The GOAT, Sam Presti did.
hmm But he's gonna have to pick. He's gonna have to take some notes out of his brother's book because his brother adjusted his game a lot as he's come to the NBA and as he's been playing with the Thunder. Like we mentioned, like I mentioned, he was a scorer and a facilitator. And while he still facilitates, that's not his main job now. He's more of a defender and a secondary scorer type of guy, but can play make when need be. So I think Cody's going to have to take some notes out of his book where he finds a lot of things to be pretty good at. That way he's able to stay on the floor, whether it's from a defensive standpoint, getting block shots and contested shots at the rim with that length and athleticism, bothering wings on the defensive end, becoming a good 3-point shooter. He's got to find, in my opinion, what he hasn't done it in college, but he's gonna have to show me it soon. With the whatever team he ends up with, but he's able to hang his hat on pretty much at the end of the day. I don't know what he's able to do that yet. Translating to the A, so that's why I had him dropping here at 14. We see mocks had him going like top 5, top 7. Um, but he hasn't shown me enough. He's one of the main guys in this class I want to see a lot from, see the most from.
Potential is off the limits, man. And,
Mm,
and I felt like he'll get drafted solely off what his brother's doing right now.
for
Which,
sure.
hey, man, I mean, you see one brother, and you like he got the talent. He played himself into a lottery. I mean, shit. Let's see how this one works out. So,
Sure.
hey, man, and that concludes episode 158 of the Strikers on podcast. I'm telling you, the weakest draft, but definitely one of the most interesting drafts. 110%. I'm still second guessing some of these. I'm gonna redo a whole. We gonna have to do a 2.0.
Yeah,
We had to
maybe
do
the
a
day of
2.0.
draft will come with a new mock draft and we just line it up, see
It's
how things go.
I know my stuff's gonna be different. Cause I already second guessed like 4 or 5 of these. I'm like, maybe that guy should have went there. Maybe that guy
Yeah.
should have went there. But I love doing these episodes. Love doing it with you, Khairi. Johnny wasn't here. He wanted to be here so bad, but he's working hard. Shout out to our boy Johnny. Shout out to everyone on the RZP crew. Shout out to our fans and subscribers, man. We're at 204, Khairi. Listen, man, we was just at 160 something like a month ago, and now we're like the 204. So it's like we're doing something right, and we really appreciate the support. We appreciate the comments. Some comments I haven't even got to on YouTube channels. We appreciate the engagement. Keep engaging with us. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think, positive and negative. Criticism. We want to hear it all. We want to improve the podcast, and hopefully you enjoy this episode as much as we enjoyed recording this episode. So with that being said, that concludes episode 158. Shout out to Khairi, my fellow co for this episode. Listen, man, be ready for another episode. We got a lot of episodes coming. Be ready. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the post notifications so you know what's going on, everybody. Have a great week.
Sure.